All right. Let the speedy boy go. Right. Reverse camber on this one, so you've got to be careful. Okay, so it's a bit nerve-wracking talking to yourself when there's so many people around, but what you gonna do? Oh, can't see anything. Wow, that was stressful. Coming up there directly into the sun. Felt like I was going to see the Red Baron or something. Like Snoopy in his Sopwith camel. Right. Just trying to avoid bugs. There's so many bugs on the loop this time of night. So, what are we doing? What are we doing? Well, we are riding across the city to go and collect some posts, which is not exactly the most exciting thing possible. Cheers. So yeah, gonna go collect some posts off a friend in Sale, and maybe the GoPro will die, maybe it won't, and we'll also, why not, talk a little bit about the new wheels on my bike, because that's moderately exciting, I guess. Okay, straight into traffic. Back to the, is this pandemic? Because the traffic looks fucking normal to me. Right. Nice bit of segregated bikeway here, actually. It's not even that bad in the road, but given how busy it is, we'll give people a nice wide berth. And try not to die in the meantime. Ram and Shackle. Okay, it's not called the Ram and Shackle anymore. It probably hasn't been called that for years. Bit of a trip down memory lane, this, as they say. Going through all the places I used to live. Used to live up that way behind us as a student, and we're heading south to where I lived after I was a student, down in Northenden. There's probably a better way of doing this route, but this is the one we're doing. That guy's wearing a full coat and a fucking scarf. It's not that cold. It's not cold at all, actually. It's like 17, 18 degrees or something, I think. But, you know, cool, I guess. Obviously, if that's where his internal body temperature is, that's where it is. We're all different. Okay. So the other thing we've got to contend with is that we're kind of into autumn now, and or well, August is August, autumn, I don't know. Begins to feel pretty autumnal at the end of August, and we're sun is getting dark, sun is setting, sorry. It's getting dark about 8:30. It's I don't know, about 20 past 7 or something now. It's getting on, and so we need to get a move on to get there and back. Got my lights with me. Good road user. But, you know, it is more dangerous after dark. It is more of a pain. So I'd rather not have to deal with it. According to the odometer, we've only gone 4 kilometres, which seems very little. Given I'm pretty sure it's 4 kilometres down to Pars Wood from my house, and we're quite a bit further out than that at this point. But hey, it's the computer, I'm the human, so I'm more fallible, I suppose, by definition. So, what was I going to talk about? I was going to talk about my new wheels. So, it's not quite my first impressions, because I did get out this morning and get a little bit rained on for my efforts, just to test my bike mechanic job that I did last night to put them together. And what I discovered was that the cassette I put on them wouldn't mesh properly with the chain. It's a new chain. So I switched it over on my lunch break. And now we're back out again. So they're quite interesting, I guess. They are deep section alloy wheels, but ones that are sort of relatively lightweight is sort of the goal of them. Kind of in that premium wheel category. You know, a lot of the deep section alloy wheels you see are sort of cheaper deep section alloy wheel sets, usually for fixed gears. And these are not that. And they're built in the UK. Have built in the UK. It's kind of cool. So for quite a while, I've been looking at options for getting some deep section wheels for the rides where there'd sort of be an option. And difficulty is that I ride a lot in the Peak District, and a aluminium brake track is pretty important to me. As a result, you know, using rim brakes and all that, which left relatively few options for a Campagnolo drivetrain. And Campagnolo bullets are very expensive. So that was one of the options, I suppose. The bullets with the aluminium brake track. But you know, the other problem is, I suppose, although carbon wheels are pretty safe, I know that, there are enough horror stories kind of out there in the wild, especially about descending with them, that given I don't ride particularly fast, nor I suppose is my bike particularly light. I mean, I'm also, you know, running heavy 4-season tires because I don't like punches, all that sort of stuff. I'm not really a weight weenie, so a lot of the benefit of carbon in that regard is only really about getting the deep section. So I've been looking for options for an alloy deep section, but ideally not something quite, you know, as heavy duty and as heavy full stop as some of the fixie stuff, because, you know, although I'm no weight weenie, I do climb hills, and so I'm going to say no to something that's designed for a road bike and maybe a tiny bit lighter, you know. So anyway, I had another thing I've been looking to sort out for a while is, so I used to live down there on the left, just down that road. That's my local Tesco. A lot of beer runs there. So what I've been looking for was a set of 1-inch carbon forks, because the steerer tube on this is old school. I mean, it's a 20-year-old frame. They're old school 1-inch jobbies. And Kinetic One do a set of 1-inch race forks. So I'd already kind of been aware of them as a result of that. And you know, I wasn't really aware that they originally started sort of bikes and wheels and that sort of thing. But I saw that they had a bunch of deep section alloy wheels, and I sort of parked it in my brain. And then recently, what with the coronavirus and everything, they were having sort of get some money in, get some orders in, keep ourselves in solid business kind of a sale. And I thought, well, that's good an opportunity as any. Think about getting a pair of these wheels. In the wrong lane there. Oops. Right. Let's get in the right lane. So what was I saying? Yeah, so I finally thought, oh, now's the time to sort of investigate a pair of these wheels. And so they have a few deep section sort of alloy wheels. They've got these pretty neat stealth black graphite ones, ultra pitch. And they've got some, I think they're the K142 SL, which stands for super light. It's kind of their lighter deep section aero wheel, alloy again. And they have the K142 TL, which is supposed to be the most aero. It's a bit heavier. And it's also tubeless ready, which they say is like a unique thing. I don't know, haven't checked that out, and I don't run tubeless, so it doesn't really affect me, but I ended up going with the TL. I mean, I suppose nominally, because they weren't that much heavier than the SLs, once you added on a couple of slightly bougie options. And also because of the internal rim width. So I suppose the wheels I've been using on this bike are Campanella Zondas. Oh, busted behind me again. That's annoying. So I've been using Campanella Zondas, which are on paper a manufacturer claimed weight of, I think, 1550 grams, there or thereabouts. But with inner tubes and tyres, my luggage scales at home, the belt loop thing, clocks them in as 2,640 grams with, just bog standard inner tubes and Continental GP4 Seasons. So, there's a lightish wheel set, but I'm not doing anything to make it all that lighter, But crucially, the internal rim is quite wide on them. They're the C17s on this. So as the name suggests, it's an internal rim width of 17 millimeters, I guess. Millimeters, yeah, it must be millimeters. So, and they've proved pretty reliable, very stable for descending, and with 25 mil tyres, been pretty comfortable even on relatively rough roads. like, Jesus Christ, this one. Anyway, so I was sort of keen to get something in the ballpark in terms of weight, if I could, because obviously the Bullet Ultras, which are a bit out of my price range really, they're sort of about the same weight as the Zondas, claimed weight anyway, with a 50mm rim. So I was like, well, if I can get anything near to that in alloy, ideally cheaper, that's a big win. So the reason I went for the TL rather than the SL then is the SLs were, I think, 16mm, 15mm maybe, internal rim. The graphites, I think, were 15 with a 45 depth. Pants. Oh no, that is the right way, okay. I think. Well, we're about to find out. So, what was I saying? Yeah, and the TLs were 17.5mm rim, internal rim width, which is actually a little bit wider than the C17, so it didn't feel like a downgrade in terms of comfort or stability when descending, which is really the key, I suppose, in the sort of places that I'm riding on the whole. So yeah, so the internal rim width matched what I was looking for, and 42mm depth, good enough. The Zondas are 24 at the front, 27 at the back, so you're getting nearly 20mm extra at the front, and well, I guess like more than 15, almost exactly 15, in fact 15, right, at the back. So not insubstantial increase in the depth of the rim, and the claimed weight from Kinetic 1 is actually not that different. A couple hundred grams or so more than the Zondas, and I've always suspected that the Zondas have their numbers massaged a little bit by Campagnolo. So yeah, with the cassette on and the GP Four Seasons inner tubes all pumped up. So I said the Zondas were, what did I say they were, 2640? The Kinetic ones were sort of nudging up a hair over 2800. So 2800, 2850. I don't know what's going on. Hey. Okay, nobody's going. I think I'm going in the right direction. Kind of navigating roughly based on memory, which is not always a sensible idea. But hey, we'll go until I recognise where I am, or until I get really lost. So yeah, so the end difference in weight was only about 200 grams, and you know, as soon as it's in that sort of ballpark, I think I've gone past it. Okay. As soon as it's in that kind of ballpark, you know, for most purposes, in most cases, I'm not going to notice 200 grams, but I will notice the deeper section. So it seemed like a good option. And yeah, and also, you know, the price is right in this case. So let's pull a UE. And I think head back in the right direction. Yeah, there you go. Sale Town Centre. Did think the junction looked familiar and that I'd gone the wrong way. Very good. Right. So, that's quite a convoluted way of saying that for, if you're like me, paranoid about carbon and you want an aluminium brake track, and ideally alloy wheels that you feel like you can use in 4 seasons, not only did Kinetic 1 have a few options, but these are a good option. So, next question I suppose is, what do they feel like on this bike? Well, the answer is, they feel a lot like my Campagnolos Hondas. I think I went for Bitex hubs, and again, you know, they're supposed to be this, that and the other in terms of their smoothness. Do they, after 2 rides, feel any smoother? I honestly probably have not ridden them enough to say. Do they feel good? Yes. Do they feel smooth? Yeah. Do they feel stable? Yeah. I mean, 17.5 should feel more stable than what I had on there before. Happy days. Do they feel faster? Now that is a good question. And I think only time will tell really, to see if I get any PRs on segments that I like doing. Which I suppose we won't know for a while. At the moment, whether it's psychological or not, I did feel like, given that it's after dinner and I feel quite sluggish, that we did motor out here to Sale relatively quickly, given that I'm also wearing a rucksack, because we're doing our premium rush impression. Except, you know, I'm only couriering my own post. Right, now here's the tricky bit. I need to find the right road. I can't remember which one it is. Okay, so I think it might literally be this place just here. Maybe around here somewhere. Aha!